Good evening, everybody. I am stepping in for Councilman Reeves to get the meeting started, and I would like to welcome everyone for coming to the District 5 Community Connection Weekly Call. I'm going to take a moment to introduce a new nonprofit. It is called the Swim Foundation. I will let her take it from there.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, thank you, Tamiko. My name is Miss Wheeler, and I am the founder of Southern Women in Motion Foundation. I have a new supportive housing program in the South Fulton area for formerly incarcerated homeless women who are either getting out of prison or either the state transitional facility. We house the women once they get out of prison. If they don't have any family or maybe they've caught their charges in a town where they can't go back to. So we house them in the South Fulton area, provide them with food and clothes and shelter. So we also do reentry programs. We assist them with getting their demographics, their birth certificates and socials, and some of them have been locked up, amount of time where their IDs and driver licenses has expired. So we assist them with that as well. Um, we offer them direct services. We refer them out if they need any other types of benefits, such as substance abuse. Some of them have experienced family violence and family reunification. So I just want to introduce myself. And like I said, my name is Miss Wheeler, Shakithia Wheeler, and I am the founder of Southern Women in Motion. SWIM is just short, too much to write all the time. So that's where SWIM Foundation comes from. And thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for her?
Tamiko Jane, can she just put her information in the chat so that if it's not already there, it may be there. I'm not sure.
There's a question in the chat. Where are you located?
We're right off of 29. That's Roosevelt Highway.
Where?
Is there anything that you are looking for in regards to community support?
Are you interested in any partnerships in relations to your initiative?
If she's talking, we can't hear.
Just keep jumping back on mute. I'm sorry. And then I think someone was asking where's the location. It is on Stonewall Tail Road. And someone else asked about partnerships. Yes, we are interested in partnerships. I will put my information in the chat so that you can be able to contact me.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I can figure out how to work this thing.
Tamiko Jane here. Do you house women no matter where they're in jail? Like if someone is in Gwinnett County and they need housing, can they use your services?
Yes, ma'am. I'm not sure if I was muted, but yes, ma'am, we do house women in the Gwinnett County Jail that's getting out of the Gwinnett County Jail. As long as it's in the state of
Okay.
Georgia. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay. Thank you.
Do you have any upcoming events?
We have a fundraiser event coming up in September. It's actually a wine tasting fundraiser. We're trying to seal the deal on the location. So I would know definitely within another week or so where the location will be. But yes, we'll be doing our first fundraiser event. And it's going to be a wine tasting event.
Thank you. Any more questions? Or does anyone know of any jobs that are open for people to apply for?
And we do follow up with them when they're hired. We work with an an agency downtown, First Step Staffing. They get them jobs at the airport, restaurants, animal shelters, various of places, and we follow up with the employers to make sure that they're doing what they need to do. They reach out to me and give me reports and such. And right now we have 9 women, and they're all working. The parole and probation officers come to the house and follow up with them. They do drug tests. So, they're following through with that. So far we've had a great success rate.
So thank you so much for taking time to come on out. We are looking forward to you being part of helping us in the community as well as us supporting you.
Thank you.
Now, my next announcement is, hi, Ms. Joyce, is to let everybody know that the grant group was rescheduled to start for this week. And so I want to make sure I let everybody know that we'll be getting a new one this week. So if there is someone who wants to participate in the grant group, send me a text. Send me a message on chat so I can make a list of if there's anyone in here that wants to get more information about it and try to join. So that's one. Also, we have worked on the next concert date. We have a full program scheduled for this coming Friday. I want everybody to know that we are definitely working on getting ready for more fun for y'all and more community outreach. And so one of the things I want to let everybody know about is this coming Friday is the, I'm getting ready to share my screen so everybody can see it. This coming Friday is going to be a full-fledged event. We got everything coming to a head this coming Friday. So at 6:30 at the field, we'll be having the Burdette Field, we'll be having the graduation for the first ever trade class. So please, community, come out to some of these things and support these events. There's going to be times that you are going to want something. So we got to help each other and go into these events in the community. But the graduation is this Friday at 6:30. We'll be having barbecue and for the reception. So those of you who want to come on out, see you at the field. Secondly, we'll be having the championship for the 8-week Balling with a Purpose basketball tournament. So the basketball game will be coming in to play at 8:30, I believe, in the gym. And so for those of you who are into sports, they have been battling. A couple of weeks ago, I think they went into triple overtime. Week before last, they finished by 2 points. So they are definitely fighting for the championship rings. And so please come support that. We'll be having, I think, fried fish for that event. And then we'll be having a concert for those of you who would like to enjoy the music again. So bring your chairs and come out and enjoy the music, and that's it. So we'll just be having a fun-filled night for everybody, for everything, and we just want you to come on out and bring your friends and family. So I'll be sending a reminder. I sent one already, but I'll put it in the newsletter, and then we'll get a reminder again on the next day. Hold on. Let me stop this share.
And this is going to be a most historical evening, and we would look to see everybody to come out, as we appreciate you all. And so,
Are you in? Go ahead, Councilman Reeves. I'm sorry.
no, yes. I mean, and so we're waiting on Mr. Denard to come on.
In the
He was supposed to-
meantime, do you want to talk about the meeting agenda for tomorrow's council meeting?
Anybody have anything on the agenda to discuss? Hello?
Hey, Councilman, okay, what kind of meeting is this tomorrow? Did we just have a meeting last week?
We did, Jane, and that was our work
Okay.
session. And
Oh, that was work
this
session.
tomorrow,
Okay.
right? Tomorrow is our council meeting. Normally, it would have been on the 25th because we meet on the
Yeah.
2nd and 4th
Right.
Tuesday. But apparently this was scheduled for the 18th.
Oh, where's the location gonna be? Southwest?
I believe the Southwest Arts Center.
Okay, thank you.
Hey,
Hello,
bro.
Councilman. It's Keisha. Just wanted to know if you will be sharing my initiative in tomorrow's meeting.
Oh no! Hey, hey, Keisha, how you doing? Please feel free to share your platform right here. You can let the people know what you're speaking of.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Keisha. I am in the Ponderosa community here in District 5. I am so excited to assist the women in our community. My first cause of action would be to first see what issues, our women are facing specifically in our district and in our city through a brunch called the Empower Her. It is a City of South Fulton brunch that I would like to initiate, and I would like the support of all of the community and our leaders. We will go and have a formal brunch, discuss issues globally and locally, and come up with solutions and raise funds simultaneously. I'm looking for partners, looking for donors, and I'm just looking for the support of the community. So yeah, I digress.
How do they get in touch?
Absolutely. You can reach me by phone at 614-984-8531 or email. I can put that all in the chat.
All right, good deal. Larry, so you get your hand up?
Hey, brother Reeves. Hey, just quick update. What is going on with the widening of Buffington Road? Haven't heard anything. I know we spoke about it, and then it kind of went quiet again. Where are we at with that?
That's why I wanted Mr. Donato on. We actually get ready to break ground, and so we get ready to break ground and start the construction of it, and so that's going to be happening within the next few weeks.
All right, appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Larry, you have your hand up?
No, he just went, and so it's Loretta, Miss Loretta.
Good evening, everybody. A few concerns or just statements out there. First of all, I want to thank Corey for coming out this weekend for our unfortunate event that happened with the tragic of the young man who lost his life through some senseless shooting. So as the president of the board, I just, we want to give our condolences out to the grandmother who actually stays in our subdivision where this unfortunate event happened. So I just want to thank you personally and Mayor Khalid for going out and at least speaking to the grandmother and showing your condolences as a community. I think it was definitely well appreciated and definitely got the support that we needed, and just in this community alone. Just unfortunately, these things seem to be happening just way too often, not just in our neighborhood, but other neighborhoods at the same time. So as a community, I just want to say, as a president of the association, I want to tell you, thank you so much for coming out. Also, I want to say thank you for coming out and seeing my property for the damages that were done from the police force. And I just want to tell you thank you, because I think you guys stepped up swiftly and took care of the incident. You didn't prolong it once it happened. So I appreciate that. I do advise that next time that when these kinds of incidents happen, to at least give the community more update on what's going on, because only thing that as Buffington Park, we were not aware of when the SWAT decided that things was over and it was safe. It just seemed like they just abruptly left and just kept lingering around. I think they should have just maybe gave the community more of a safe haven, or let them know that things were safe at one point in time, and they didn't. Everything just kind of just abruptly dispersed, and people were still on edge. And I understand that the young man was caught over 48 hours later. But just in the future, can we make sure whoever is over the police officer, have them come to our next meeting and discuss some things that they could have done differently and what they're planning on doing different to just make sure that we feel safe. I think we need to start having those councilmen, those gentlemen, whoever's in leadership, to come start talking to the association, so we'll feel like we're safe. That makes sense?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. And by the way, it wasn't the city of South Fulton's police force that destroyed her grass. Those are the municipalities. But we're going to work that out as well.
You're right. Thanks for that clarification. It was not City of South Fulton. It was others. But I appreciate your response. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Larry?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good now. He answered what I needed.
Is that?
Yes, this is a question for Keisha. When does she plan to have those meetings and where?
Thank you. That is a great question. I have not picked a date, as I am waiting on a response from our leaders, because I am looking for their support and for their stamp of approval so that it can assist, with raising funds and possibly securing a venue for the actual event. So right now it's just an initiative, and I'm just making sure that I have the support again of my community and leaders so that we can push forward and make this a successful event.
Ms. Valerie?
Good evening, everyone. I have a question concerning the sanitation bill. Nothing, is just simple. Just when should I expect it, and what's going on with the Merck Miles transfer station?
Merck Miles transfer station is temporarily closed. You can use the Welcome Mall Road transfer station in between time, which you can just use that anyway, because that's closer to us here. But the Merck Miles is going out for RFP for a different vendor to secure that location to operate it. And so just to say that's going to be closed for a few months. I'm just going to bottom line it. And then when we get an operator through this RFP, but use the Welcome All Road transfer station instead. Do you know where that's at?
I do not, but I have concerns about the pricing. From what I'm understanding from neighbors, the Welcome All is priced much higher than what Merck Miles was. So that's a little concerning.
Okay. I'm unaware of the prices over at Welcome All. I have not been over there. I think I went over there one time, like 4 or 5 years ago, but I get the prices because I'm not sure what it is. Does anybody on this call know what the price over at the Welcome All transfer station is? Has
I believe,
anybody been? Go ahead.
excuse me, this is Glenda Collins. I haven't been, but someone told me they carry, the starting price is $120 from, is it 1 ton to 5 tons? So when you go, you have to make sure that you have close to the maximum amount to get your money's worth.
120 is a lot far from
That's
10
a,
out.
that's a
Yes.
problem. That's a
Yes,
problem.
it is.
That's over 100% increase. I mean, that's over 1,000% increase. I'll find out. I'll find out because I honestly I don't know.
Mhm. And excuse me, I have another question too after this. I can't raise my hand, it's not working.
Okay.
Oh, okay, I'm
Valerie?
done. Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, you didn't address the bill, but I guess you're not sure of that either.
Oh, have the bills came out yet? I'm not. Bills should have hit everybody definitely by July the 1st.
I haven't seen a bill and I don't know how to make my payment, so.
The bill isn't coming out right now. They're in the middle of doing the home estimates. So the bill, I think, was supposed to come out in late August, beginning of September, something like that.
Mhm.
Okay, all right,
But
thank
they were
you.
saying, the 233 was done by July because you have to pay like a year in advance, and so, but just wait for your bill, and then you can handle it then. So look for like what you
Thank
say,
you.
late August, September. Okay, and then Clyde, and then we'll go to Ms. Collins, and then back to you, Loretta.
Yeah, hi, how's everyone doing tonight? Yeah, I had two questions. One was in regards to the Buffington Road widening. I guess I'll hold that until the proper person is on the call. But the second one is in regards to the property taxes and the sanitation bill. I too haven't received a bill. And I was wondering, is there someone I can get in contact with to see where my bill is at? Or, I mean, because I sometimes people steal a mail or something. I hope I don't, hope I haven't missed a bill or nothing. But in regards to the property taxes, I was wondering, was there going to be like another session where we can discuss the property bills? Because I had some issues with the city tax. My 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 overall bill, my overall value of the house stayed the same, but the city of South Fulton tax went up like $600. And I was wondering if there was going to be another session. I know I missed the July 13th one with a councilwoman from District 6, but I was wondering if there was going to be another one just to kind of discuss, that type of situation.
Clyde, I'm not sure of another one, but there was a PowerPoint that was given as well. Tamika, if you have that, if you can put that in the chat, that'd be great. But I'm not sure of another one. But I do know that a lot of people from the fifth did come out and to attend that meeting, and so I mean it was very informative. And so it's but I'm not sure of another one. But we'll see if there can be, because the last day to claim homestead. Wait. What is it? It's the last day to challenge your assessment. I believe it's the 24th.
Yeah, it's 24th, I think. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'll find out which is what next
Monday,
Monday.
the 24th.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So I'll find out from you. I'll find out some answers for you, Clyde.
And if he
Ms.
couldn't,
Collins, go ahead.
Yes, they have changed the website and it's difficult to find the agenda for the upcoming council meeting for the clerk.
How Tamika, can
Yeah.
you post the agenda in the chat? How they make it? They made it difficult to find the agenda for tomorrow.
Yes, yes. Before you could just go
Yes,
in.
it's difficult. It's very
It is
difficult,
difficult,
Counselor.
very difficult.
And
Thank
yes.
y'all. Now I
Now we
know it's
talking.
just not
Now
me.
we talking to people who go get the agenda all the time. Now, how is people who go there
Um,
all the time calling it difficult? Now
I
that's
went
a
in there
problem.
today and asked them how to get to this agenda, so I'm gonna log in and show you how I got there.
Okay, let's do
Okay,
that.
thank you. Thank you.
You,
Yes.
yeah, cause we know y'all be on it. As Tamika, did Mr. Denard call or
He has not gotten on, so we'll proceed until further notice. Or if
okay.
he doesn't come on, we'll have to reschedule. But he was confirmed for tonight.
Okay, someone has their hands up here.
You want me to go next?
Oh.
Bree? This Loretta.
Yeah, go ahead, Loretta, and then Sheila and then Wanda.
Perfect. Quick question. So back to the welcome all and the increase in the prices on the actual, I guess when we take our bulk trash over to the location, is that what they're saying? 100, let me just get this right. We still have to pay $120 minimum, like the young lady said. And also on Monday or every third Monday, when they pick up that trash or our bulk waste, what does that include? Because I put some bulk out this month or yesterday or today rather, and they're being very, very, very particular on what they're going to be picking up. So I'm just trying to figure out, why are we incorporating bulk waste? And that's what this whole taxes and all this whole trash thing that they decided to do to South Fulton, when they're not going to pick up what we need them to pick up. Because to me, we're paying our taxes, the $200-some a year, or including the bulk waste, but then we turn around, still have to pay for trash to go over to Welcome All Road as well. I don't see where we even paying for trash, the $200-some a year, if we can't put out on the curve that every third month when we need to pick up. I don't understand that, because they're being very limited of what you could put out on the curve.
I asked them to put out a pictorial documentation of what would be acceptable and what would not be acceptable.
I
As
seen
far
that,
as
but it doesn't work, Corey. The thing is, let me give you an example. My community
regards.
been around 20 years. There are a lot of people who really need to get rid of a lot of stuff. And I just don't feel like it's fair that we're being charged this $230 a year. But then when we need this extra, supposedly extra bulk waste that we should be able to utilize, including in that $230, $39 a year, and but we can't put out what would need to be put out. And it doesn't make sense to me. And every third month, every third month is not enough. Every third Monday for our area is just not enough. We have way too much stuff that needs to be put out. And that's unfortunately why people put stuff out on the street and down Buffington Road, because it's costing us one way or another. We got to come up with something better, because it doesn't make sense. I really thought this $239 is going to be beneficial. And that was great, that anything that we couldn't put out as regular trash, that third Monday would be able to utilize on the offset of the other stuff we need to get rid of, for the community. But this is not working. It's not working.
Right.
And I agree. I agree.
It's not
And I'm
working.
gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I agree. Excuse me. I talked to Barbara Latham. First of all, I went online and filled out my form. And she called to let me know that they would only pick up 2 items, no more than 2. I have stuff I need to put out there. I was gonna carry it to Merck Road, but we did not have Amnesty Day. So you can only put out 2 items and it has to be on that list. So in a refrigerator, you have to remove the door and remove the Freon. Now I have,
I'm just gonna ask a general question here, real quick, Ms. Collins.
yes,
Does
sir.
anybody on this call know how to remove Freon?
No, come on now. You know nobody don't know how to do that. And that's our whole point. This is ridiculous, all these stipulations for the money we pay in a year. That should be a service that should be rendered us under that extra freaking money we got to pay. So I'm with Ms. Collins on that. This is ridiculous. Some of these communities been around way too long where they should be honored to come in and take some of these heavy. I got a whole elderly down the street need a refrigerator, stove, and washer dryer. They've been there 20 years, need to remove. You expect for them to put it out on the curb too? Come on, Corey, this is ridiculous. And we paying all this money a year. This is some crack-a-lack of bull, if you ask me.
You listen to Michael Basin. And so it's right. I see your point. And so it's we'll just see how we could come up with a better solution. And so I'm writing this down. So that's a point.
Ms. Collins on that. We need to be increasing all this money to all these folks, for folks like myself who've been around 20 years, but then you're not making it conducive. I just think it's unfair. They came and picked up some of my waste bulk, but they have two other homes. The elderly couple that I actually put a ticket in for, that they were supposed to pick it up, and they never went down the street and got it. They came and got mine and forgot two other residents too. And they said they're supposed to give 70 to 24 hours, but Corey, we shouldn't have to be chasing people to do their darn job. If you're going to say what you're going to do what you say. That's all we're saying. So now they have to keep their stuff out on the curb for another 48 hours for them to come back. If they come back, this is ridiculous.
I understand.
Well,
I got the point.
From
Well,
Atlanta
Atlanta
said it may sit out there for a week.
Right.
And that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to sit out there a week before we have to put another ticket in for them to come out and get it again. That's not acceptable, Corey.
I understand. I got you. I'm now going to let Miss Sheila go and then Miss Wanda.
Sorry, Miss Sheila.
No problem. Well, Atlanta and DeKalb County, you can't put out appliances either. They don't pick up appliances. Atlanta don't pick up appliances. DeKalb don't pick up appliances. So I'm sure the city of South Fulton, we're not the only ones that won't have appliances picked up. But that was not why I had my hand raised. I had my hand raised because I was at the Councilwoman Pritchett's when she had the meeting last week on the value of your home. And I wanted to tell Clyde, you only can appeal the value of your home. And you just said you was okay with the value. As far as the taxes itself, they said you would have to attend the millage meetings to fight those taxes on there. They have anything to do with the taxes at all. And it was just something on TV last week that Fulton County is going up on all taxes when we get our permanent bill, and each one gonna have a 4.5% additional increase for the new jail that they building for Fulton County. So they told us to look forward to that. So what we have now plus an additional 4.5% is going to be added for all residents, all homeowners, for everybody who own a home. So get ready to have an additional 4.5%, but they didn't have anything to do with that. They only talked about the value of your home and homestead exemptions and the exemptions you can get if you're a senior and you're at a certain income. That's all that they was able to talk about, was the value of the home and how you can appeal it. How can you appeal that? The tax part of it, you cannot appeal. Once the tax is on there, I learned something new. Those taxes that are on there are never appealable. You cannot appeal it.
Yeah, and that was my problem. I spoke to a expert. I was gonna hire someone to appeal this, and they said the exact same thing. I can't appeal the value, but the thing is, the value of my house, basically. No,
not the value. You can't appeal a value.
Yeah. But I can't appeal. Yeah, okay, yeah. Just like you were saying, I can't appeal the taxes.
That's
the
correct.
thing is the value stayed the same. And I was wondering, my city of South Fulton tax went up $600 and my school tax went up $400. That'll make my bill going up $1,000.
It's the millage rate went up.
The millage rate. You should be lucky that yours only went up $600 because mine was like close to $1,500. So
yeah, okay.
you should feel lucky that you're
Yeah,
Still love
yeah,
it, but
I agree.
that
I
tax
agree.
cannot,
I
that
agree.
tax cannot be appealed. You cannot appeal the tax. They say you need to start attending the millage rate meetings that Fulton and go on their website and see when they held and try to fight it then. But there's no appeal for those taxes, they said.
Okay. Yeah. I
Only
was
for
just,
the value of your home. You can only
yeah.
appeal the value of the home.
Yeah. I was just wondering
Excuse
why the
me,
city of South Fulton tax went up so high, but I
is
guess
that
the
a
millage rate.
statewide rule? You can only appeal the value? Or is it Fulton County only?
That's across the board that you can only appeal. He said the millage rate, once it's set by the county, you have to start attending those meetings. And then that's where you go in and voice your opinion and say no then for those taxes. But once they assess, there's no appeal process to appeal those, he said.
And we actually as constituents vote on those things. So we vote for school taxes. So you got to be mindful and careful what you go in and vote for, because we're actually voting for some of those things too.
Ms. Wanda?
Hi, I got two concerns, both in my area. One is I wanted to question the school cameras on Buffington Road. Is that Union City or South Fulton?
That is both Union City and South Fulton. As going northbound, well, southbound is South Fulton. If you're coming from Royal 85, going towards Royal 85, that's Union City.
Okay, here's my concern about it. I normally try to avoid going that way, but I was riding that way a couple weeks ago, and I noticed that the speed limit is 45 miles per hour. So on average, you're probably going 45, 48 miles an hour. And then it suddenly drops down to 25 with no leeway. And before you know it, the camera is right there. So it's really not enough time for you to slow your speed unless you do a hard stop. So I was trying to see, why isn't there more warning that there's a school zone coming up? Then because I see on Nextdoor where people are saying they're getting 4 and 5 tickets a month. So it almost appears to be a speed trap. So I'm trying to see how do you guys get that speed lowered, or more warning to the drivers that speed is about to change to 25 before you get right on the camera.
Which way are you traveling?
Coming from Flash Show, it's actually the same both ways, because Buffington Road speed limit is 45 miles per hour. There's nothing that drops it. In most school zones that I've seen, it's usually 35 and then it drops down to 25. So you have warning, and it's enough time to actually slow your speed, by coming off the gas or whatever.
So,
right. Okay.
Hey, let me, Corey, one thing about it, she's right. The sign that actually flashes when they first initially put those up, somebody broke it. And that's why you don't have that warning. There is a warning that usually flashes right there to tell you what your speed is before you get to the school zone, but it's broken. I put a click and tick fix in there over 6 months ago, and no one's fixed it yet. So coming from flat shows, coming down this dark way, it usually flashes to let you know what your speed is before you get to Buffington subdivision. On our side, I haven't seen it over where the bridge is on the opposite coming from the school. So once they get that fixed, it does flash to tell you, hey, your speed is this, you need to slow down before you get to the school zone. So just
right, but Loretta, when you get to that, the camera is already right there.
No, the camera's after that. I promise you it is. It's after the flash.
Where's the camera actually sitting?
So when you come out, Corey, when you come out our subdivision, you walk, if I was to walk to the left, and I keep walking, right after that bush is right there, is a flash. Before you get to there, it sits on the pole where it actually flags your tag after the fact. So it's there. It's just that flashing needs to be fixed. And I put a fixed and ticket there long before now. And for some reason, they have not came out and fixed it yet. So when you come out the subdivision, it sits right there. The fact of the matter, you just don't see it. But it sits right there before you even get to the school zone.
Right, I remember that it used to be there, but it's not flashing anymore.
That's because it's broken.
but still you're dropping from 45 to 25. So is there a decrease to 35 before you get to the camera?
If you get to, yes, there is an abrupt, I'm not disputing, there is an abrupt speeding. I agree with you on that, but it flags to tell you before you get to the school zone, hey, you're at 35, 50 miles an hour, slow down. But
Right,
and
but
that,
Right,
then
it reaches speed limit, but ladies, let me just provide clarity real quick. Because coming from flat shows, that camera is actually Union City. Coming from Rural 85, that camera is South Fulton. And that's what we're talking about the jurisdictional lines. And
Yeah.
so and that's unfortunate because it's one corridor that changes city jurisdiction 5 times from flat shows to 29.
Well, that's
And
why we
so,
can't get it fixed then, because I'm sending mine stuff. I sent that to the actual South Fulton. If you're saying that's Union City, then that's why they never fixed it then. Sorry, Wanda, but that's probably why. That makes sense now, because we're not sending to the right person. If he's the one he's talking about from that show, so that answers that, but I don't know why the speed changes from that drastic from 35 to 45.
Jill
No, it's from
Lindsay?
45 to 25. If you're coming from flat shows, it's a sign that says school zone.
Yep.
And before you know it, you're in the school zone in less than 100 feet. So you're
Okay,
asking,
ladies.
right.
I gotta let some of the other ones speak before time is up. Jill
Sorry.
Lindsay?
okay, so can I make my other concern? I'll
Go ahead.
Hello?
okay, can you hear me now? I'm sorry. Old Bill Cook Road, this is my other concern. I'll go ahead and address the other one privately. But the Old Bill Cook Road and Red Oak Road, on that corner, there's kudzu drop growing up. It was up on the sign that keep South Fulton beautiful. It's creating a blind spot when you're pulling out, watching cars coming from that curve. How can we get Public Works to take care of it? I've opened tickets. They come and do the bare minimum and they close the ticket.
Okay, we got to work on that. I'm just being honest. That's something that we have to work on.
Okay.
Jill Lindsay?
Hey, Jill.
Hey, y'all, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Councilman Reeves, I text Denard, so I think he MIA. Also, I Public Works in March, April about Amnesty Days, and they did not have them this year because they said they were trying to introduce the trash bill. But as you see, as I'm listening, we do need those days, those Amnesty Days in the city, especially if they only take it 2 items per household.
I'm thinking, Jill, that that could be a case too. So I'm just taking all thoughts in right now, and I'm just taking those concerns, and that plays a factor in the decision making is because you have to get a value.
And also, I was listening to I was also listening to the constituents, and when they're using C-Click Fix, they need to register. And when you register, you register with your name. You could do it as well, but you register and you put your email account in, your email address in there, and whenever you send your C-Click Fix items, it'll send you back an update. And then once you create it, it should have a reference number on it. And what I do is, if the item is not complete, I screenshot that reference number and I send it to either code enforcement or I send it to Public Works as documentation. Because a lot of stuff can get dropped in C-Click Fix once they close it out. It could be very well invisible on their side, but on your side, if you register your account, it'll always be in your account, whether it's closed or open. Because I've had things come back saying it's 560 days out, and it wasn't closed. But since my account is registered, it sends back an update.
All right.
So that's all I had to say. I yield.
Suzette?
Good. This is in response to someone who wanted some stuff picked up. A gentleman by the name of Ben Ogun Forward. I've never pronounced his last name, but his phone number is in the chat. He picks up metal, and that includes refrigerators, stoves, etc., anything metal. So if they don't pick it up, call him, and he can, and leave a message if you don't reach him, because he will call you back, probably the next day, because he's out till late at night recycling. And what he does is he's wanting to pick up stuff in the South Fulton area.
Thank you, Suzette. I'm writing it down.
Sandra?
Hey, good evening, everyone. I wanted to piggyback on the caller before, Ms. Suzette, regarding Public Works. When it comes to submitting a ticket as well, it absolutely helps if you take a picture exactly of what you're referring to, and if you're doing it, then I truly don't have anything else to add. But I put in a request last week, and they came out and cut some overhead, which posed a safety issue for the area that I put the ticket in for. And what I also do, just as a paper trail, like the woman stated, I keep record of the reference number, and I also forward it to Miko, just so she has it, has access to it if things aren't done appropriately and the situation isn't taken care of. So submitting not only the order, but also taking pictures, clear pictures of what you're wanting addressed helps with that matter. That's all I had to say.
Thank you, Charlotte. You know what? I have done that. So, and I'm registered as well, but still, I'll just, like you said, if I can, I'll just follow with Tamiko, if Tamiko don't mind.
That's fine. I want to make sure, because I know we're getting close to closeout time. Did everyone see how to get to the agenda, or do you need me to do it again?
Go through it again, Tamiko.
All righty. If you're on the City of South Fulton, if you're at the main City of South Fulton website, and I go here where it says, government. You see where it says City Clerk right here? You can click on that, or you can click on meeting agendas and minutes. But for the sake of the long way, if I click on City Clerk, you'll see here that comes up. On the side is meeting agendas and minutes. If you click on there and you go down the list, you have to, if you want to make a comment online, you have to click here to submit a public comment online. Right here, where it says to submit a public comment. All right, you follow those instructions on the time deadline. If you keep going, this is what happened earlier today, and I was like, where is the minutes? And he had me go down the screen. Sorry, hold on. Let me stop this for a second, because I got a person that needs to get out the room. That's making an accident. All right, let me go back. All righty, so when you go here, you scroll, it was up here, and it looks blank. You had to keep scrolling down. I don't know who posted it and it took this far down, but if you keep going all the way down, it's here at the bottom of the screen. And this one goes to the online, and this one goes to the paper PDF one. And if you click on the PDF one is the regular version. If you do online, then the online one has the actual links that go straight to the section that you're looking for. Does everybody see the agenda showing up on the screen or no?
Not yet. Okay,
You don't see the agenda?
no, okay, wait a minute. Government, city clerk, click on that. I'm there. And I go down to meeting and agenda packets.
No, meeting and agenda. See where it says meeting and agendas on the side?
Oh, on the sun. Oh,
Yeah,
on the sun.
and then you
Okay.
go down, and then you should scroll down to the bottom of the screen because it looks blank, but it's all the way at the bottom. Then
Oh, darn.
Yep,
Is that crazy or what?
yep. I had to go in there and say they missing. And he was like, keep scrolling. So I don't know why they have this dead space in there, but it's because you got to
Wasn't there
keep
before?
scrolling down. No, it wasn't. So, but that's where it is. And if you click on it, then it comes up. So I do, because there is some important ones coming, need to show you. Councilman Reeves has a couple of them that he wanted to make sure you were aware of. If there's anyone available to attend the meeting tomorrow and come speak, you may want to attend. Do you want me to go straight to any in particular since time is running out?
No. Well, one is, let me do this first. Miss
Is
Armstrong's on the call, and she had our old narrow meeting last week, Thursday as well. And I wanted to offer her opportunity. Did you have anything that you wanted to provide an update the community with overall, Miss Armstrong?
Everybody, we just went over as far as code violations, people. If you got some issues, I heard a couple of people saying, well, what about this? And I mean, you can always send me an email as the chair for the code board. And we'll see if we can get whatever issue it is that you have rectified.
All right, awesome. What's our email? What's your email? Can you put it in chat? Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Armstrong. But let me just tell y'all tomorrow as well. And so one of the things that's pivotal is we have an influx in crime, not an uptick, influx in crime, particularly violent crime. And, you know, if y'all are aware or not, I'm telling you, there was 4 murders that happened in the district last week from a 7-day calendar period. And some stemming from domestic violence and some just senseless. And this, but we have to do something. Last Saturday morning, we did the Stop the Violence walk from the Commerce Plaza down to Krogan and back. And as I'm dealing with the family from the young man who was murdered early in the week, I get a call as they're pulling the body out from 3 Lakes, which butts up against behind Camelot. And so, but they kept saying Camelot, you know, it's derived from that area, but at the same time, it's too much. Kid was 16, and then the other young man was 27, but he leaves back home with a wife and 2 kids. And so I think about how, because on the way back from walking, I walked through Camelot I'm not understanding this, like they should be participating, but it's ground zero over there. And so, but we are on ground zero here. And one of the things that we started 3 years ago was Friday Night Live to give people an opportunity as a multi-generational festive type of environment to have something to do for everybody. So, but that does require just a small investment of, you know, to the career opportunities that the young people will have and have to be able to take advantage of. As the trade school, trade introductory course certificate program, which they will be getting this Friday, it's the first ever in the nation ever done through Parks and Recs. It is to directly drive home, giving our youth an opportunity, not just to have social fun, but also to increase their economic bandwidth. And so through trade. So, and when people look at a concert series, they looking at an end product. I'm not looking at more so of an end product, but everything that it takes to put on that concert. We had a gentleman on the call from last time that went on and says, oh, the noise level was there, but you have to know how to set up the stage, break down the stage, know how to operate on the mechanics of a platform on a hydraulic lift with wheels. You have to understand how when you open up the stage, then you have to have the lighting, the set rigging. You have to have the everything that goes with that. Then you have to have the sound. When you're setting up the sound, then you have those decimal letter meters so you can understand that the noise decimal levels don't reach to exceed what it was intended to do, you know, beyond the crowd. And so it's all of those things that goes into it as part of a trade or a career opportunity. I mean, you know, the concert is just the add-on and benefit, but I'm just saying that in the future, I mean, it's just a little investment because in the future, those things wouldn't happen. It'll be coming from internal. So I just look at all of the stuff, and then when they says that we can't have no funny, but we still have this element of violent crime. I'm not gonna say I mean, the devil is who the devil is. He's gonna get into anybody and they just have murder on their mind. I mean, that's just what that is. But at the end of the day, there's something that we can do out there to curtail a lot of the things. And, you know, like balling with a purpose, we have already have the metrics that during the time crime has went down. Okay. And so we do know the effectiveness of it. So tomorrow on the agenda, on item number 40, the requesting approval of the governor's public safety and community violence reduction grant in the amount of $1,548,305. There's no local match necessary for the grant. However, funding will be given based, meaning that COSF will have to front the monies first. So they're asking for a blank check to us to give out, and so that we can come up with a program for Community Violence Reduction Act. Now, just based on that, what area in this city do you think needs to have a focus on? I'm asking a question. Based on that, what area do you think on that criteria that needs to have a priority? Anybody?
South Fulton.
Right.
District 5.
District 5
District
and
5, right.
Burnett
Definitely
Park.
District 5, yes.
Burnett
District
Park.
5.
District
Yep.
5.
So let me just say this. We have the highest crime rate. We are number 1 on the census tract. We have Title I schools with the lowest household median per income. And they're trying to say it's an impoverished area. So just by this right here, and what we have been trying to do over the last 3 years, and for funding to be temporarily halted, to giving people an opportunity to increase their economic bandwidth through a trade, first ever in the nation. And that's happening this Friday, and yet you're not even hearing about it. How are we trying to reduce violent crime act? How are we as a city trying to put forth those efforts and a collaborative effort to really attack this head on? In the very area is needed the absolute most.
That's a good point, Corey.
So I'm gonna need y'all to come down and speak to this, because there is something being done about this. It has been being done for quite some time, as nobody would be on board. But now we have a funding source, and get this, because we have to foot the money first. So so the very of having the money pooled for something to address this very need, we now have to put the money up front, so we can already get reimbursed if people got a problem with it.
So what
If
number is that?
people have a problem with that first concert, this right here, by the sheer naming of this grant,
Yeah,
you can
this is
submit reimbursement because this has already been done.
yeah, this is Pastor Reeves talking about. May I say something, please? Can y'all hear me?
Go ahead, Pastor Reeves.
Okay,
This is my
listen.
apology too, by the way.
Listen, I just came in on this conversation, so please forgive me for being late. Well, yes, absolutely. Everybody in South Fulton in the 5th District need to be down where the meeting is going to be tomorrow night. It's ridiculous for anybody to think that Old National Highway, which is probably have the highest statistical rate of crime in the city, that we would not be focusing on that. Also, that you need to galvanize all your pastors in the community to come behind not only this agenda here, but also come behind the Friday Night Live program and help get behind that, because it is something that we need as a community effort. Not only that, we need more things happening in the community. This is just a start. So I applaud you for doing this. I'm not saying this because you're my son or nothing like that, but I just know that things are not being done historically in our community, and we got a lot of issues that we have not dealt with overall. That's my comment. I think.
Okay. How about
So
this?
what number is that?
Everybody contact
Number 40.
Number 40. Thank
the media, television, radio, social, and tell them about what's going to happen tomorrow, as well as what's happening on Friday, and the behind the scenes story.
Absolutely.
Because if
And
no
so,
one hears about it, that's what's that you got to, and they will do this. They will come and cover a story, but provide them with a story.
oh yes, man, they've been provided with it. Matter of fact, they came out and did a story on it, and I sent that out as, and they even on the news said why it was created, or why it started, and so, and the statistics show that we have metrics that prove our point, and so I got
keep
you,
on
but I
top
do
of them. Keep on top of them, because newspaper is 3-day history. You know what that means? It's
5
here
days
and
old,
it's
right?
gone till the
Right.
next one. So what you have to do is keep staying on top of them, Corey, because otherwise it'll be a missed opportunity. If you keep it in front of the media, if you keep it in front of the traditional media as well, it will reach the legislature, and so they'll back off some of this crap.
Well, what I hear also is that there is some pushback, maybe on the $1 million that is being allocated, given by the state, but we have to put the money. And it seems like that what I'm hearing, help me out, Corey. Are you saying that you get there's pushback from other council people from other parts of the city that who may not want these funds to come in to help, because
No. This is out here from the police to violent crime reduction grant, and so this is for the police to accept this grant, but how we have to put up the money up front, because it's a 100% reimbursement, right? And so, well, it's a reimbursement grant, and so we will only get the monies back from what was spent out, but it's up to that amount. I'm not saying that anybody is against this. I'm just advocating for the highest crime area because I want an implementation plan. So I'm not gonna give
Okay.
y'all a blank check because I want to see an implementation plan
Okay.
on
Okay.
how best use are y'all going to try to spend these funds, because I just can't give a blank check if there's no implementation plan, and that the number one area which he has the highest crime is not first on that list. I have an issue with that, and so I need
It's
to
not
see
on.
that implementation plan as it is, and so
It's
it's
not.
because if you're not going to accept a grant and you don't have them no information. So somewhere they had to give them information. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Like, hey, this is
Oh
how we
yeah,
plan to
no,
use the
no,
money.
no. They should already have. They have to have that in order for somebody to give a $1.5 million. You have to tell somebody how you're going to spend that money and what programs you're going to be putting in place.
And I'm
I'm just
sure it's
saying,
restricted.
restricted to what? Reducing violent crime? I mean,
Yes, yes.
I mean, 4 murders in 1 week.
Can I ask the question, Corey? Because you be long winded on us sometimes. I'm sorry, no disrespect.
I mean, but I can't help. I can't help it. This one, I'm gonna drive
Can I-
home, Brent. I'm gonna drive this
yeah.
point home.
So I just got a quick question because and we've talked about this before. So one, I watched the meeting that just recently happened where they discussed a little bit of the grant, and your ask of us is of course too much of a quick turnaround time. Is this going to be the first introduction to the public of the grant? And then if so, that means we have time to get together as a district to speak to the grant, because for us to just show up unorganized is not going to be helpful to your plight. Second of all, we need to understand what the parameters of the grants are. I do agree with you 100% that there has to be some kind of writing and plan, because the way a grant it kind of goes is that there are stipulations. So if it's a match grant, the city could run into a possibility that if they don't meet those parameters of the grant, then they may not be awarded that money on the back end as a refund. So we need to know more about the grant. In addition to that, yes, it's wonderful to have music festivals and things like that. But if that music festival does not meet the stipulation of the grant, then you might not get a refund on that.
It's not a music festival. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not.
Lack of better words, poor choice of the wording. And you know that I'm 100% in support of what happens on Friday night. I'm there, I volunteer. So poor choice of words on that. But what I'm just saying is we need to have a full understanding of the grant so that we can show up and have excellent talking points and be educated when we show up.
Okay. Hey, fair deal.
Well, that sounds good to me.
But let me see, by the title now, Community Violence Reduction Grant. Now I'm just gonna say we have 4 murders last week in District 5 alone. That tells me all I need to know. But however, I do understand what you're talking about, and the devil's in the details. And so I don't have those parameters. I don't even have the grant. So, or to get those metrics, that's why I'm asking, where's the implementation plan? Show me something. That's what I'm saying is like, as I'm gonna, Tamika, are you aware of, do you have a copy of the grant or the parameters of the grant of what this is speaking of?
I pulled the report that's attached to it, but let me say this. It wasn't something that was provided in the work session and then they're coming back to vote on it tomorrow. They're voting on it tomorrow. And so it's not a case of we have time to prep everybody and get ready. It now is just a point of District 5 residents have to just come and talk about how much they need support in that district because of the amount of crime, because of the amount of violent crime that are happening in that area or on the Old National Corridor, period, that they need, something has to happen, because what could very easily happen is they say, for the sake of the example, they want to do police athletic league, and they could put it all over there if they felt like it. If there's a blank check and there is no parameters to make them focus on the biggest area that they are always highlighting, when there is no police substation on this corridor, when we can't get them to come and address the issues that are happening in Camelot, when we can't get them to do things that they could potentially do, and choose which way they want to go with the answer. How can you ask for this much funding and the city support it, but you don't number one, or 50% of it, or a third of it does not go specifically to help the main area that you create reports and say this is the most crime? How does the money not make it to the area that you say is crime? But by the time you wrote the grant, I'm sure you used the statistics to get approved. But if they don't have to necessarily, if they can write it up as a city overall. So what happens is, from a grant perspective, they could have written up the problem under the city overall and said, we need money to address crime in our city. Then it's not specific to an area, it's across the board for the city. And because you did not meet with the councilman or contact the district or the city and talk to them up front on what do you want us to put in here and do, then that means you have not included what those residents wanted you to put into it. If y'all don't come and speak up tomorrow, whatever you have to say, and show some kind of force, then they will do what they want to do and say this district wasn't represented.
Yeah, but the first thing, Tamika, I hear you, but I'm ticked off as a resident, okay? Because that when you put together a grant and use statistics, that you ought to be highlighted and you get approved for it, and then you mean to tell me that your grant writer needs to be fired? Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. But whoever, the young lady who spoke before, she's very articulate. I think we need to put something into her head that she needs to talk on behalf of a group there. We all need to get some white t-shirts or something to come in unison and to show up and let her speak.
He's talking about Brandy.
Yeah.
Well, is Brandy gonna be there tomorrow?
I agree. It should be Brandy.
Yeah,
I would love for Brandy to be there tomorrow, but I don't know if it fits into her schedule. And so, you know, but however, it's like,
but I'm saying, but all of us.
What time is the meeting tomorrow? It's 4.
4 o'clock. Mm-hmm.
The meeting starts at 4, but it's closer to the end of the agenda.
And what time? And what time would that be?
No. Right. But public comments. This is that to be done during public comments.
At the beginning.
So what time is public comment?
Put in your public comment request now. That way you're on the
agenda.
You're on the agenda to speak. That's what they're basically getting at. I will be at the meeting tomorrow, so I hope Ms. Collins, you'll be there. The gentleman that just said, Brandon, I hope all of you all are there, because I'm going to be there. We really do need to speak for District 5.
Yeah.
If this is where the crime is, then we need to be the voice, whether we sound organized or not. At least our voices are recorded, our concerns are stated, and the council collectively can see that if nobody else, District 5 is a contender. And we need the help in our district. So that's what we're saying. So I'm going to go ahead tonight and put in my request to be a speaker. So I hope that you guys will do the same thing, because you can't just walk up and speak. You have to do it beforehand.
Well, you can have my time, Ms. Brandy.
But what time is it?
I'm not Brandy. I'm Chandra.
Yeah, she.
Now I will say this: if you want to, if you don't do it online, you do have the ability to fill out a form in person, but they stop taking them 10 minutes to 4.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not in his hand,
well, I'll do mine
by
online.
that time, then you won't get to speak whenever it is on the agenda. So you either have to go online and submit a request, or you have to be in person, I would say at least by 1:45, so you can fill out the form and hand it to them.
Yeah.
Okay. No,
Oh, I have
Is
a
this the
question,
first
Corey.
read?
I have a
No, this is
This,
the
this,
vote.
this is not no first read. This is
Oh,
acceptance of the grant.
This
oh,
it.
okay.
This is
This
it.
is it.
Not a let's
Okay.
work and figure this out. This is it. We got the
Okay.
agenda this weekend and we're telling you it's happening.
Okay.
Question. I have a question.
Go ahead.
Councilman Reeves, this is a federal grant, right?
This is the governor public safety grant. This is from the state.
State.
Oh, okay. So no federal funds?
Probably federal funds.
We will have. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm saying this is from the governor's public safety office, and so it could be, but I don't know. I know it's from the state.
Okay.
But
Okay, because I'm trying to figure out if they're using the statistics of the national to get the grant, and they don't come, the funds don't come to that area. That is not how federal funds are distributed, because you're sending the government incorrect information. You're going to use it for another area, but you're using the statistics for in another district. I hope they know that. I hope they know that.
All right, let me help y'all, because y'all are debating the point of the grant, and we're telling you it's going up a vote. It's not about what you assume or believe. What's happening is, and I'm giving you a general assumption of how, because we don't have all the details. So it happens whether we understand it or not tomorrow. And what can happen is your statistics don't have to designate a street. Your statistics can say, this is the statistics for the city. Once I say these are the statistics for the city, then we good to go. And that's it. If I can prove it, I can prove it. And they may or may not say, well, you can work that out later, or however. We're saying to you, we don't have all these details that you are asking us, but we know it's on the agenda. So that means they're sliding it through, whether you have full understanding or not.
So is to ask for us tomorrow is to ask them to vote it down no until we get full information?
No.
Or do we want it to
No.
I'm asking a question. Hold on,
no, it's
people.
gonna
Hold
happen.
on. Hold on. I'm asking, let me finish my question. It's because it's kind of two parts. Are we asking them to vote it down no until we get a full layout of what they're going to use the money for? Are we asking them to vote yes to pass it and then come back on the back end and say, but we want to make sure District 5s get money? And the reason why I'm asking those two different questions is because once it's passed and we move forward for writing this blank check, there is no guarantee, if we don't have full disclosure of how this money is going to be divvied up, there is no guarantee on the back end that District 5 will get what we're asking for. And that's my questions.
Thank you, Brandy. That's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
And I think also that we need to be on the record to saying that we didn't like the process of what was happening, and that wherever the needs are in the city should be addressed, wherever that may be. Whether it's Old National, or it could be over on the other, it could be on I-20. But I think we need to be on the record to say that we are not in agreement with the process, but we think that we should we support it.
Well, let me just say this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna be very clear. A program introduced to address this very need has already been happening. This is the third year in the area where it's happening. This third year has funding. There was funding identified for this to go on this year in the amount of $125,000. So, but $25,000 of that money was spent, and the rest was being put on hold for adverse reasons, ex parte of my knowledge, but ridiculous to me, because there was supposed to be one last week. This was actually going to be the skip week, but however, it falls in line how the architects draw it. I just follow instructions. But what I'm saying is that the money in this grant, there's already something in place that to do this very thing that the grant is for. And it's $100,000. So when people talk about what's that, equity and quality and inclusion, let's just start there then. Because if we want to talk about that, then just take that 1.5 million and some change and divide that up by 7, the districts, and you'll come out with $221,186.42. So if they ain't got no plan, then we can put it out there. Stipulation is that amount to go to every district.
Okay.
And that amount going to every district over there, we have something in place. Get this that you could already submit reimbursements for.
Okay.
But because it's the program, and it's going to be the historical program this Friday, because it's not about basketball, it's not about a concert, it's about people getting introduced to a trade and a career opportunity. And it's about the continuation, because through the Workforce Investment Act, that will allow them dollars to federal funds to allow them to go on to see if they want to be a journeyman or to continue that path in trade, because we do know it costs. And so, but there's sources out there that's going to help assist in the long run. This is not a short-term thing. And so I'm just saying that that very deal is, and so we're arguing, my argument is, get this, go ahead and apply the funding. Since, get this, the city already has to spend the money up front and submit for reimbursement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So what people understand is this is Friday Night Live basically came out of a church. It was a theme out there for the church. And so, you know, we said Friday Night Live at the church. And so you had the band that had a family event, but however we expanded it here, but you know, it's need funding, and there's funding sources for it, for this very deal, for the public need, for the greater good of the public need. And this is for the greater good of the public need. And so that's all I'm asking. There's a plan in place. There's a well thought out plan in place that stemmed from last year planning, that just came just by happenstance. And it's is very well thought out, very well led. Now, and the only reason I'm going to be voicing my opinion in this is because I did the right thing. I stepped back and I let my general do all of the plan to go forward with it. And then they gave the most pushback ever. And I've never seen nothing like that in my life. But I didn't involve myself in the process intentionally. But I'm inserting myself now because I'm just saying the way that they were done and the way it was spoken about is absolutely asinine to the fact of what this event is, what this program is, and what this means to the constituency. And I'm going to be very well engaged in it because I did follow protocol and I did follow the process, and they still gave the resistance on something. How are you giving the resistance, but then you had to say, do something about crime?
Yeah.
We have done something and we're doing something. Now, how about y'all do something and get the funding? Now they don't have to get the funding. Now we have applied funding. We have a plan in place. We have a funding mechanism. Let that plan go through now. If we talk about equality, equity, and inclusion, well, that's the most equitable thing. Divided up by 7, and we still have $121,000 left. And the total cost was $88,000 to be exact. So we got that plus 12. So I'm just saying.
So is that what you're asking for?
Oh, absolutely.
So you're
As we're
asking
coming
for
downstairs, I want to be very specific because I heard everybody talking this and third and said, no, I want to be very specific. Come down there and says, release the funds and let this program continue as it was designed.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can get back on track.
Okay.
Because since we have to spend the money, we approve it tomorrow. Get this, we can approve the whole thing tomorrow, and we back on track. But Friday night, this Friday is going to be epic because it's the historical evening in the city of South Fulton, and I'm gonna stand on that. And so, as not just the inaugural basketball championship, but it's the certificate program graduation that is the key element in the whole deal, and everybody's missing that. forget the concert, forget the basketball. As people, y'all don't understand, we got young men, young women, men, women as and I'm excited. And a brother who went to play ball, because that was a design for people who are playing basketball. They have the opportunity. That's why it's called balling with a purpose. It's to sign up first, and when it doesn't happen, it's open up to the community. Because this is the introductory course is free of charge. That leading to a career opportunity. The guy who came and spoke last week, Craig, who was giving them an opportunity, who goes through this class, a career opportunity to make $18 to $22 an hour on Universal Lighting Solutions, paid training started Monday for 2 weeks. And
Great.
so, as ladies and gentlemen, we're not here for this on pat on the back. We're here because it's the effectiveness that's happening. And he done came down here already because he's looking at putting a manufacturing place down here in the South Fulton. So we're getting people who are buying in and investing in our city and investing in our youth, particularly those with alternative backgrounds or who need a second chance opportunity. I'm going to stand on that. And I'm not bowing down and I'm not bending over for that. It's because no, we're doing this right. And so people don't have to accept it, but the very reason why they took the money away, the very reason good Lord gave it back to the state, because I know there's funding for this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting
And
off
that's what I'm
tonight.
asking for. And that's what I'm asking for, is keep the plan as it was designed and as it was planned out, and I'm gonna fight so hard because Corey Reeves didn't do it. General Levy did. So get this, I don't really do too much myself, but when you tell my administration and they done did all they could and fought those challenges, you better believe I'm gonna go hard in the paint, because understand something, you're not gonna do that. No, and we're not going to call ourselves a city who wants to attack violent crime, and we have the most violent crime in the area. We have the highest crime rate. Stop playing with me.
Yeah.
And so, as release the funds, because understand something, the most equitable thing to do is to divide it up by 7, and we have more than enough. That's what I'm saying. And city promote it. City promote it for the city. That's all I'm saying. So, I will. Any more questions? Because we are overtime. I don't care. We'll go overtime tonight. This is very important, and I hope through people will see the people looking at what's popular, the basketball and the concert. Looking at what's popular. No, the most important thing is that certificate graduation out there. Come see the lives that have been changed in your community, period, who took advantage of this course. And so, and have a career opportunity to expand upon. Understand, ladies and gentlemen, Workforce Academy is building a workforce through trade.
Yeah.
Through our Parks and Recs. Tell me where that else has been done.
I hope your media's out there tomorrow. I mean, it's Friday.
Hey, listen. We the media. Get the word out. Hey, word of mouth is still the best way. But however, I want y'all to come see the lives that have been influenced, changed by them taking this course. And we got, what's the youngest girl in there? Like 16, something like that. And so, wow. And they're taking full of it. Yeah, but I tell you what, anybody ain't coming to the meeting tomorrow? Go by Bird from 6:30 to 8:30 and watch the class for yourself.
Hey, I'm coming.
And so, this is a real deal, ladies and gentlemen. And so, and this is what we are doing. I don't care about the foolishness. I don't care about the extra stuff that means nothing. You know what I mean? Except causes dysfunction, causes disruption, disillusion.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying these are the facts.
Okay.
On what is being done here in this city. And so take it as it is, but don't take it as no opinion. It's an absolute fact. Prove me wrong. So, well, I'm just gonna say, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a good call. I hope to see y'all tomorrow, but more importantly, I hope to see you Friday. As the graduation starts at 6:30. If you ain't got
Yeah.
nothing to do, just drive by City College and watch for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Because the time that first certificate is issued, it's entrenched in history, in the books of the Smithsonian in American history, as we are the first in the nation. Show me I'm lying. That's what we're doing. And that's what we will continue to do. Release the funds. And Tamika, you got anything to add?
Release the fund.
Oh, I hear you. Release the funds.
Yeah, I just got one more comment if I could. When it comes to these meetings, I just want if you could, Corey, to make sure the meeting, well, do your part to make sure the meeting goes, exponentially, because it's gonna be at 4, and then the this particular agenda meeting is scheduled to be sometime around like 9:45 or something, and sometimes these meetings be way too long, and the public comments is scheduled at 6, but good. I don't know if it's actually going to be around 6. So just please, tell your colleagues, to kind of move the meeting forward. You know what I'm saying, because we don't want to be there too late. Yeah.
Right. Trust me, I understand. I'm gonna leave it right there. I do understand. Okay, and what was next? Oh, about the senior center and the city. That's being discussed. We do know Rob Pitts himself, the commissioner and chairman, said that they were going to be putting they had a study to put a senior center down near the South Fulton Annex area. So we're still waiting on that, I guess, because that would be a Fulton County operated center. And so I can ask for follow up where they stand on that, but I thought we would have had a conceptual design by now. Anybody else? Well, ladies and gentlemen, look here. Thank y'all so much for joining this call. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to join this call. I appreciate and love each and every one of you. And I'm just saying that, just know that y'all are the best part of the city of South Fulton. Y'all are the constituents. Y'all are who we do it for. And so, right, wrong, and different, thank you all for entrusting me to carry out the wishes of the city and particularly this district. And so I'm gonna continue to do that as long as you'll have me. And but I'm gonna always fight what is right. And so and that'll never stop.
And one more thing, Corey, can you make sure the person with the GOT possibly can come back next week, or because
absolutely.
It's a real big project, and I want to know the phases of it. Just
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. All right.
I have something else too, you guys.
Go ahead.
Miss Collins, this is Chandra. I sent you a personal message in the chat. I need your number. We need to talk, dear. Please.
Okay, cool. And I'm trying to pose that. Okay, so all right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna bid y'all a good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, and thank you guys. Thank you.